Charlie James Show.
Now we're talking.
106.3 WORD.
All right, we are now streaming live all over the place. We are on 106.3 WORD Facebook. We are on the Charlie James Show Facebook. We are on 106.3 WORD on Twitter. We are on 106.3 WORD's YouTube page. Am I right about that, Tim? We are up and running on YouTube right now. Am I correct?
You are correct.
That sounds
that's what
good.
it seems like right now. I'm going to monitor it very closely. To
All right.
double check.
Because that's one of those things the little the steps that you have to take. We were having a little bit of trouble figuring out with the format that we use.
Oh, I mean,
Right.
it's streaming.
Yeah, it's streaming.
Streaming. It's just a part of it. Like,
Exactly.
you have to find the right combination of things to get it to work the way you want it to.
Because if not, anything dropped or anything left out, it rejects it. Right.
Right.
And we're also on Rumble as well. I didn't mention Rumble, but we are there as well. So Tim, you're one of these people. You have actually purchased an adult Happy Meal, right? You went out and got that?
No, I know. I tried to purchase an adult Happy Meal, and they wouldn't let me.
Did you not have the ID? Did you not show them that you were an adult or something like that? So what was the issue with you buying an adult Happy Meal?
They said that they were out of the toys, I think it was. Because the reason I was going to get one is because that was the day that I was with my daughter.
Yeah.
And we went to Strawberry Hill. And so I took her to McDonald's after, and I thought, if I get an adult Happy Meal and she gets a regular Happy Meal, that equals 2 toys for her. So,
Two toys?
Yeah. Kind of like to spoil my little baby.
I don't blame you.
So like, especially because I had her by myself. I wanted her to have 2 toys. They didn't let me get one. But Lonzo, the great one that works here, he has gotten an adult Happy Meal, as well as Chris over in engineering. And they say that the food is normal.
Yeah. It's like a Big Mac or what?
Yeah, so you can get it.
Or can you get like quarter pounder or a Big Mac or... Do you get to choose?
Yeah, so you can choose what you want.
Right.
I mean, as far as your food, if you want the fish fillet or the Big Mac.
I like the fish fillet.
Ooh, me too. It's so good. It just comes with the toy, like one of the original, McDonald's toys.
What do you mean the original McDonald's toys?
Like the original characters from the marketing of the Happy Meal, I think.
Right.
Of course, Ronald McDonald's in there.
Nostalgic toys.
Yeah.
So to speak.
And some of his other, his other posse.
Okay. I didn't know that Ronald McDonald had a posse.
Yeah,
but okay,
they
well,
do.
That's good to know. Well, this brings me to a Charlie challenge, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, because I know you're the smartest, hippest, most with it, most intellectual radio audience in all the land. It's a Charlie challenge. And of course, we start off each Charlie challenge with Tim.
Hey.
All right, here's your Charlie challenge question for this hour. Tim, how much are adult Happy Meal toys going for on eBay? Limited edition, certain toys from the adult Happy Meal box are being put up for sale on eBay. How much are some of them going for, do you think?
$500, maybe.
$500?
Yeah, that's a wild guess.
Okay, $500. Tim says $500. Somebody else there, let me know. You guys on the Common Sense Retirement Planning text line 71307. How much are some of these adult Happy Meal toys going for on eBay? Somebody says $200. No, you are low on that one. Tim, I'll just let you know you are low on your $500 guess.
Low.
You are low. 773, nope, you are low as well. 773 says $1,000. You are also very low on this. So waiting for a couple of more folks to weigh in on. Somebody says 2,500. Still very low. $2,500, you are very low.
2 million.
No, now you've gone a little bit higher. Do you want me to tell you?
A little bit higher?
Well, yeah, relatively. Here we go.
I'm ready.
637 was the first one to get it right. $300,000. The limited edition cactus plant flea market box, the adult Happy Meal, sold out shortly after launching back in early October, and now the Halloween buckets are back. But the burger chain brought back the Halloween pails yesterday, which hasn't been offered in the U.S. since 2016. The plastic trick-or-treat buckets decorated with ghosts, goblins, a jack-o'-lantern, McBoo, McGoblin, McPumpkin, began trending among real-time Google searches yesterday. Some of these toys are being put up on eBay for $300,000. That's over. That is a third of $1,000,000, just about.
What makes it 300,000?
I have no idea.
They have to be like sealed or
It doesn't say.
It doesn't
say.
It doesn't
No.
say how to appreciate.
They just want these things. This is mind-boggling to me.
That's
They-
insane.
So how much is an adult Happy Meal? Okay, wait a minute, hold on. A medium cactus plant flea market box costs, which is the adult Happy Meal, about $12. Large box closer to $13. eBay listing offering 3 of the collectible cactus plant flea markets still unwrapped and in their original packaging, $300,000. There it is. There's a picture of it. $300,000.
Dude, there's Pokemon cards that don't even go that high, man.
Okay, and still, I can't believe people are doing that. Another listing on the fashion marketplace Grailed, which is marked as an authenticated post, features the Cactus Buddy figure asking for $39,999. That's been reduced by 10% off the original $44,000 price tag. Can you believe it?
That's intense, man. That's insane. Like. I'm with you. I don't understand why things cost that much.
So how would you
for nostalgia?
How would you justify that in your budget? I mean, what are these? How much money are these people making to where they can spend $300,000 on a Happy Meal toy?
Man, this is going to people that just have it to blow.
It's got to be.
Yeah. Like I mean, we're talking probably like the top 1% of rich people.
So if somebody came up to me and said, hey, Charlie, guess what? I bought a new, got me a new Happy Meal, adult Happy Meal toy. I said, oh, that's, first of all, I go, oh, okay. And then I would go, oh, yeah. And then I go, hey, I bought it on eBay. And I got whatever, $300,000. $300,000.
Like the guy in the street, like he just walks up to you. Hey man, hey, yo, look, hey bro, look, check this out, man. I got these Rolexes.
Yeah, exactly. I was in Jamaica, and this guy offered me. He had a Rolex, and he tried to sell me this Rolex, and I looked at it and I said, "Is it real?" And he said, "Yes." I said, "Is it legal?" And he didn't say anything. I was like, okay, there you are. It's fine. You have stolen that Rolex. I'm good. I'm good with that. I don't even know.
No, thank you. I don't need it.
Just 300. I'm telling you what. They're saying that this is an economy or a, what do they call it? A recession of the middle and lower class. This is not a recession of the upper class. They're not being affected by all of this. It's you and me that are hurting. Those folks up there, they can pay $300,000 for a toy. I think of a lot better stuff you can do with your money than that. Good gracious. Unbelievable. Hey, when we get back, we're going to be telling you about, we got the new BMW plant that they're talking about. There's several new electric vehicle plants that they're talking about. And Lindsey Graham is actually asking for an investigation. We'll tell you what Lindsey wants to investigate coming up next, right here on the Charlie James Show, 106.3 WORD. We will be right back.
This is the Charlie James Show
on 106.3 WORD.
Welcome back, streaming live all over the place. Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, and where else are we? Twitter. Over on Twitter as well. Okay, we know that, well, first of all, before we get to the Lindsey Graham story, let's go to Cassandra. She's on the phones right now on the Ingalls Market talk line. She's in Greenville. Cassandra, how you doing?
I'm doing okay, Charlie, and again, thank you for all that you do. Man, I don't know what we would do without folks like you. Thank you so much.
I appreciate it. Well, they're going to try to get, Cassandra, I'm telling you what, the powers that be are going to try to get rid of us.
I know. I heard that Soros or one of them purchased 18 Latino radio stations down in Florida.
Oh, yeah. They're doing that. But there are some more Latino conservative stations going on the air.
Well, I'm glad.
So that's good.
I'm very happy to hear that.
Yeah. So what's up?
Well, Charlie, I was calling about the abortion issue. First, let me just say, I am what we call an abortion-free person. My mother was in the hospital for almost the last 4 months of her pregnancy because she had a rheumatic heart.
Right.
And they feared she would die, and she chose to have me. And I know this was a long time ago, but things still went down a long time ago.
Yeah.
And my life growing up, I never really thought that much about it. Now, obviously, the issues are so huge. I love her all the more. And I think how wonderful. And I think to myself, she's gone. I'm here. She's not here. I'm myself. I don't have her exact DNA.
Right.
I am myself. And once that egg was fertilized, the big question is always, can you kill it? If you had a fertilized egg, can you kill it? The answer is yes. That means that's life. And life is protected by our beautiful Constitution. So I can see that there are times you have to have exceptions, but I think people need to look a little further as to, when I hear about this going to, full term, it just, I just can't take it. But I wonder, and here's what I'm hoping you can help out with and find out, why are these third-term baby cells so important? I know within people are talking like people like Bill Gates and so on, who are using stem cells to keep themselves going forever and ever. Do they need third-term cells? Is there something involved with that? I don't understand.
I don't either. I mean, I've heard a lot of theories going on there, and I've also heard that there is not a doctor or of obstetrics anywhere that says that a third-term abortion is a necessity.
Yeah.
It's just not. They just say deliver the baby and let that be it, and then the mother can decide if she wants to keep it or put it up for adoption. So I tell you, Cassandra, I don't know. There's always a lot more to the story than what they're telling us, isn't there?
Yeah, and
it really
I thought maybe one of your listeners might know. Perhaps they need the organs fully formed or something.
Maybe so.
What
something.
are they up to?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I appreciate it. Thank you, Cassandra. And if you guys know, let me know on the text line. Okay, of course, you have heard about the new plant that is coming to Spartanburg, the BMW expansion there. Well, Lindsey Graham today said he's going to hold a hearing on electric vehicle batteries and sourcing issues if his party takes control after the November midterm elections. Graham, who would be the budget committee chair under the GOP control, said the hearing would look at the impact and the shift of EVs on automakers and the oil industry. He said, where do the battery parts come from? Where do the raw materials come from? Now, he said this at the BMW $1.7 billion investment ceremony. He said batteries become the new oil and said that South Carolina is going to become the Detroit of batteries. Is that a good thing? Graham said he wants the car companies to come to Congress and say, here's where we're going, here's why we're going there, here's what we need from you to be competitive in this space. Now, automakers, including BMW, have raised concerns that a law approved in August restructuring the $7,500 EV tax credit makes nearly all companies ineligible. And it does. All of those people that thought they were going to get a $7,500 tax credit, that only applies to a certain very narrow amount of the electric vehicles that are made in this country. The new law includes raising the percentage of battery components that must originate from North America based on value. It also disallows batteries with any Chinese components after 2023. Graham said the United States will never be able to make batteries entirely domestically. He said we're going to have to sit down with the Chinese, saying that the law needs to be revised. It can be a win-win. So now Lindsey Graham wants the Chinese in on the act here. Graham wants to know if there are other alternatives to EVs, saying, is this a religion or an industrial policy change? He also plans to call power company executives to discuss the impact on electricity usage. He said, we're going to have more than just wind and solar. If you don't include natural gas, you can't get there. Well, oil, coal. I saw a great question and answer session between, it was a senator, and I can't remember the senator, and Pete Buttigieg. And the senator asked Pete Buttigieg, he said, Secretary Buttigieg, let me ask you a question. Which uses more energy? Your refrigerator or an electric vehicle while it's charging? Which one of those two things uses the most energy? And Pete Buttigieg says, well, it would probably be the electric vehicle while it's charging. And the senator said, yes, you are absolutely correct. Then he said, how many times more electricity or energy does the electric vehicle use than your refrigerator while it's charging? Well, Pete Buttigieg was a little bit stumbled. He said, would it surprise you if I told you that it was 25% more? And Pete Buttigieg was kind of, oh, well, certainly. He said, would it surprise you even more if I actually told you that the actual number was 50% more? No, I'm sorry, I said percent. Times. 50 times more. So when you're plugging in your electric vehicle, that electric vehicle is using 50 times more energy than your refrigerator for the same amount of time. And that's what they're pushing on the Americans. When we get back, we'll talk a little bit about travel. And I have a dilemma. That I want you to help me with. And I'm going to ask you golfers out there to weigh in on this because I'm in quite the conundrum. We'll have that next, right here on The Charlie James Show, 106.3 WORD.
71307.
Powered by Common Sense Retirement Planning.
Be a part of the Charlie James Show.
Come on, let's talk. 1063 WORD.
I know a lot of you folks out there are getting ready or are making some plans probably to do a little holiday traveling, and I don't blame you, but if you are doing that, you need to step it up just a little bitty bit because prices are going to be going up even more. This week is probably the best time to buy plane tickets for the holidays because ticket prices are expected to start going up by at least $10 a week for the next couple of weeks. And then $10 a day as we get closer to Thanksgiving and Christmas. That's pretty hefty, okay? The lead economist at travel app called Hopper says the best time to buy plane tickets is this week. And, of course, they're looking at spiking coming up. So do not wait until well, listen to this. If you just decide at the last minute that you're going to go visit, your Aunt Edna for Thanksgiving, it could cost you $400 more the week of Thanksgiving than it cost you this week. And even $500 more the week of Christmas before this week. So don't wait too long. If you're planning on making those travel arrangements, this is the week to do it. Okay, here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. My wife and I, because we love to travel. We love to travel. It's just fantastic. So the other day, my wife, it all started with my hat. The hat that I'm wearing right now on the stream. By the way, we're streaming live at Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Rumble. So I got my flat cap now. I've wanted a flat cap for a long time. The British driving cap. And I never found one that really looked good on me. So I found this at Mass General Store. And it's great. I love it. I think it looks pretty darn good. Let me know what you think. So it started with the cap. So then my wife said, hey, she was mulling things around. She said, you know what? We've got a friend of ours that lives in Ireland. Okay. And we love Carmel. She's great. We met her. We visited. She came over to London when we were over there, and she visited with us. So we want to go to Ireland and visit Carmel, all right? But we want to stay in Scotland. So we're going to go to Scotland. We're going to stay in Edinburgh, and we're going to fly over to visit Carmel in Ireland there. So here's my dilemma, okay? What is Scotland? It's the home of golf. It's where the game started, right there at St. Andrews and the Old Course. Now, I don't know if I'm ever going to get back to Scotland again. This might be a once-in-a-lifetime trip. I don't know. You can't just assume things. So this could be the only chance that I get to play the Old Course in Scotland. However, here's the dilemma. It's too late in the year to get on the official list. It's too late in the year. That should have been done early last month. So basically, the only option that I have to play the Old Course in Scotland is this. I get there. We're going to be there on Sunday. For me to play, I would have to stand in line at about 10 o'clock Sunday night. And then wait, just stand in line all night long, and hopefully I will get a chance to play the Old Course the next morning when they open it at 6 o'clock. Now that's a long time standing in line for something. And I'm worried. So should I do that? This could be a once in a lifetime opportunity. Would you do it? Would you do it? Would you do it? Would you stand in line for this once-in-a-lifetime thing? Charlie, you totally need to do it. Just having the experience and standing in line for something like that is worth getting to play, is just be the icing on the cake. Oh, there you go. Maybe so. And that was kind of also my thought there, because we're going to actually walk, because St. Andrews is closed on Sunday. There's no golf on St. Andrews on Sunday. But you can still go out and walk the course. You know, you can walk around the course. You can get your picture taken on Swollen Bridge. You can see the Valley of Sin. You can do all of that stuff. So, do I stand in line all night? Fingers crossed that I play? Or do I walk the course, have a good time there in St. Andrews, in Fife, enjoy being on the course? So, Charlie, is there a beer cart while in line? I don't think there's a beer cart, no, but I'm sure there's going to be plenty of flasks there. Charlie, you'll be chit-chatting with like-minded people from all around the world. Someone says, take a long nap and do it. Charlie, you won't get in trouble with Sheila. Let's see. You won't get in trouble with Sheila if you do that. She must be a great lady. She is a lady. She is a great lady. Do it, Charlie. Carry a flask of scotch in your pocket. Charlie, you'll make a ton of friends that way. So, I don't know. Again, it's just one of those things. Charlie, I had plans to play the old course in 2020, but COVID shut it down. I understand. Charlie, come on, it's only 8 hours, and think of the friendships you'll be making by standing in line in Scotland at St. Andrews. What a story you'll have to tell. And isn't that what it's all about? I mean, isn't it all about the stories? Isn't life all about the experiences and the memories? So definitely right now, leaning towards standing in line all night long, hopefully being able to play the old course at St. Andrews. That's the way I'm going right now. But we will see. I might change my mind, but I would love more comments on this, because more thoughts. Good afternoon, Charlie. The cap looks good. It suits you. Sounds like a once-in-a-lifetime thing. At least you'll be in Scotland, right? Oh, that's right. Hey, Charlie, it's like the old-school Disney World. Back in the 80s, I went. You never remember the lines. You always remember the experience. You might be right. You might be right. Oh, my goodness. I'm getting so excited. And this is going to be in May. We're going to Scotland in May, and it's going to be fun. So, yeah, I think you might be right. I think standing in line for at least the shot at a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity might just be worth it. Tim, would you do it? Would you stand in line? Tim's on the phone right now talking with a caller. But I appreciate everybody weighing in. Going to mull this over. Going to see if I can get this thing figured out. We'll be right back. This is the Charlie James Show, 106.3 WORD. Thanks for your advice.
Charlie James Show on 106.3 WORD.
The Upstate's #1 talk station.
Welcome back to the program. Let's go to the phones on the Ingalls Market Talk Line. We'll talk to Daryl in Greenville. Daryl, how you doing, buddy?
Yeah, good. How are you doing, Charlie?
I'm doing fantastic. Fantastic. Good to hear from you. What's up?
So I actually live across the street from you and about 5 houses down.
I know you do.
We talked once.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, in my driveway, we never followed up on playing golf together. So I don't know what your handicap is, but my wife told me you were talking about getting in the singles queue for the old course on the trip you're going on.
Right.
Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
I've done that 4 times in my life.
Yeah.
So a question is, roughly, if you don't mind admitting in public, what is your handicap?
My handicap, I'm playing off a 10.5 index.
Okay. So she said that you were talking about like needing to get there the night before and, camping out the whole night. I think that's a little extreme. When I rolled into town, I would just go to one of the local pubs and talk to them. They usually will have a sense for how the singles queue is at to that exact time of year. But
right.
I've had pretty good luck getting down there like maybe 5, 6 in the morning. And why I asked about your handicap is that does come into play on it too. Because you get in line and they'll start taking your name and they'll take your handicap. And I know on a previous trip we had a guy with us that wanted to sleep in because he was just getting really tired, but he was like a 2 handicap.
Right.
And he came down quite a bit later than the other 2 of us did. And they were telling people, I'll get you out at 1 or 2 in the afternoon. And when they heard he was a 2 handicap, they said, I'll get you out in the next 5 groups.
Oh, wow.
So they do kind of prioritize getting people out earlier that have lower handicaps as well. But being about a 10, I still think if you get down there, 5 in the morning, something like that.
Yeah.
You don't have to sleep on the pavement the whole night.
Right.
They'll probably get you out.
Yeah, I looked online and I saw a lot of people that were just, they had like bedrolls and towels and things that they were sleeping on all night long. So, yeah, but would you recommend that I maybe call one of those pubs before the trip?
Yeah, it might not hurt.
Yeah.
The place I loved is a place called the Dun Vegan. It used to be owned by a lady that was from St. Andrews and a guy from Texas. They have since sold it, but that's pretty close. But they really usually have their finger on the pulse.
Yeah.
Because they'll have a sense for, in July, it's going to be much more crowded than it is this time of year. I would think right now that, they would have a pretty good feel for, hey, as a single 10 handicap, what time do I need to be down there to be in the queue to get out, by lunchtime or something of that nature? And they probably can tell you.
Yeah.
Because I think they keep a pretty good finger on the pulse.
Yeah, we're gonna be there in May, so I'm looking forward to that.
Okay, so, I wasn't sure if it sounded like you were just heading over like very shortly.
No. This we plan these things well in advance. So let me ask you something. Do you have to carry, or do you need a caddy, or because I don't think they allow you to have push carts that time of year.
I know I have carried, but I'm trying to remember if that was the afternoon rounds. I think maybe in the mornings they may make you take a caddy.
Yeah.
One of the times I did it, I ended up, coming and getting in the singles queue middle of the day because I had played over at Carnoustie in the morning, and I came back into town. I put my name back into the queue that afternoon and got out late. And that afternoon they let me carry my own.
Yeah.
I think in the morning it may be a requirement. I've always taken a caddy.
Right. So all in all, you would say definitely get in line and try to do this experience.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Right. Well, that's great. All right, Daryl.
It's a different, it's a unique course. It's certainly not what you're used to here, but I think you got to if you love golf.
All right, I appreciate it. Yeah.
More importantly, let's get out and play sometime.
I appreciate it. Definitely. We will do that. Thanks for calling in, Daryl. Appreciate it. Neighbor Daryl calling in this afternoon saying I should definitely do it. So I'm kind of going there. I'm kind of going that way. Charlie, let's see. Anyway, so we'll see. I'm going to lots to consider here. Lots to consider. All right, Ingalls Market Talk Line, 800-347-1063. The Common Sense Retirement Planning text line, 71307. Would love to hear from you this afternoon. We got so much more to talk about. We've got, 20 days until the election now. And Republicans, they are fired up. I kind of hinted to you about this a little while ago. but Republicans are absolutely on fire for this. Conservatives are ready to roll. Republican National Committee first shared the information with Breitbart News. They surpassed 2 massive milestones over the weekend with just 3 weeks left before the midterm elections. Over the past weekend, the RNC passed, like I said, 2 record milestones, 78 million voter contacts made cycle to date with over 1 million engaged volunteers. Now, let's put this into a little perspective. During the 2018 midterm election cycle, the committee could only make 78 million voter contacts throughout the entire cycle. However, since then, the RNC has successfully made multi-million-dollar investments into its data-driven ground game, which helped them surpass the 2018 mark with 3 weeks left before the election. RNC Chairwoman Ronna McDaniel said that she is proud of the work that they have done at the RNC to provide the necessary resources and investments to carry their candidates across the finish lines. The RNC noted that it made multi-million-dollar investments into permanent data-driven ground game operations this election cycle to make sure it fires on all cylinders. So the RNC putting a lot of money into this election. 78 million voter contacts and 1 million volunteers. That's a lot of folks on the ground. It really is, because it's that important. Coming up 20 days from now, we're either going to keep on getting what we've been getting. We're going to have the same or worse economy. We're going to have worse immigration, because then there's nothing stopping them. The only thing stopping them right now is the midterm election. That's it. They have to protect themselves. They have to, buffer themselves a little bit from telling you exactly what they want to do. Well, after the midterms, if they win, if they keep the tie in the Senate, if they keep the House, there's nothing stopping them. You think the policies that they're implementing so far have been horrible? Wait until they've got now an unfettered 2-year span to do as much damage as humanly possible. They are going to go absolutely wild. But if Republicans can by some chance win the Senate, take back the House, we can shut down these policies of the Biden administration. And we can open up investigations. We can find out exactly what went on. Carrie Lake did a great thing about election deniers because, if you're an election denier, obviously you've got some issues and you're a domestic terrorist. She shut some reporters down big time. I'm going to play that clip for you coming up next. This is the Charlie James Show, 106.3 WORD.
Retirement Planning text line.
It's 71307, putting it all into context.
It's the Charlie James Show
On 1063 WORD.
We are back. We are back streaming on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Fingers crossed that's going well. And, of course, on Rumble. Let's go to the phones right now on the Ingalls Market Talk Line, 800-347-1063. We'll talk to Matt in Travelers Rest. How you doing, Matt?
I'm doing well, Charlie. Thank you for taking my call.
Yes, sir.
Well, I'm in a position where my wife has an advanced severe case of multiple sclerosis.
Mm-hmm.
And the medications for her cause her to be unable to eat. It gives her vomiting and all sorts of things. So
Right.
the only option that we found is medical marijuana, which is not legal in this state. It allows her to eat. But the choice that we're in is that she can use that and not have any pain medications because the doctor won't write them if she's doing that, or she can not eat. Those are her options.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, I've taken opioids in the past for surgeries, never had a problem. It's a matter of responsibility to make innocent people suffer as a result of these sorts of policies is terrifying to me.
But hold on, Matt. I mean, you got to admit, when we've got over 75,000 people dying in 2021 of an opioid overdose, I mean, that's, that might be an issue. So wait a minute. Wait. Hold on. I think you're letting your passion get ahead of your common sense.
That's possible.
The only thing, listen, I'm guilty of that too. I'll fully admit that. The only thing we're looking at is maybe there might be a good alternative to opioids.
But that's what I'm saying. The alternatives are out there that are not legal in this state.
No,
That's
what
legal in other states.
So you're talking, but it's more than just medical marijuana. There are other things that we could be used.
Mechanicals, yes,
right,
correct.
right.
And I use them myself to relieve pain, and some of them are largely successful. They are not as efficient, but they have helped me. And, fortunately, those are still available for the most part. She's taking some of them now.
Mm-hmm.
But, a lot of these people aren't in a position where they're watching their spouse cry themselves to sleep every night and can't get any relief because of the laws that are currently in place. And to make laws that further exacerbate the difficulty of her being able to obtain something that she's in definitive need of, it's just, I just ask people to look at this with an open mind, because simply just blanketing is saying, well, it's an opioid and there's a problem, therefore no one is able to have them because, it's just ridiculous.
But that's it. Nobody's saying that. Nobody.
Well,
but
actually, they kind of are, because
some people, the only time that they will
give them to you.
And that's because of the lawsuits.
They're going to give them to you in extreme or fatal cases.
That's because of the lawsuits.
Terminal illness.
Yeah. So, and I understand, but so therefore, we've got to come up with some alternative to opioids that hopefully is less addictive and less deadly in some cases. And if that's medical marijuana, go for it. I mean, you can't tell me that there's a member on Capitol Hill that if their spouse was going through what your spouse was going through, would not look to buy a nickel bag of weed to alleviate their spouse's pain.
What do you think we do? I mean, but the reality is that she should have a prescription from a doctor and be able to pick it up.
Sure.
But I don't have a problem with that. To circumvent it, and most people don't. But for whatever reason, this state can't seem to get this passed.
Well, maybe because now the Biden administration has moved cannabis from a Schedule I drug to a Schedule II drug. Now more research can certainly be done on this, and maybe things will change here in the near future. And certainly public sentiment is changing. How long
is that going to take?
I don't know.
I mean, all right.
Well, here, but
an alternative view to it.
No, I got you, and Matt, I appreciate you calling in, and my best to you and your wife, and God bless you both. I appreciate you calling in. So, but here's the thing. I mean, like I said, you pull up to somebody at a stoplight. I was driving down the road going to play golf the other morning, and sure enough, either we've got a serious skunk problem around the golf course, or somebody was out there lighting up, and probably lighting up. So Listen, is it really even all that illegal anymore? I don't know. Anyway, that's where we are on that. Nobody's looking at getting rid of opioids. I know some doctors are very hesitant to prescribe them. I haven't met those doctors. They have prescribed them to me on several occasions for a knee or whatever, and I always say no. They prescribed it. My wife had to have a little bit of surgery on her knee. They prescribed them for her, and I don't believe she took them. I don't even believe that she got that prescription filled. I really don't, because she managed quite well. So, but that's a rare case. I'm sure that's not every case, and we're not trying to paint with a broad brush here. But if you need opioids, they're there for you. If your doctor won't prescribe them, get another doctor. I'm not recommending going, what they call doctor shopping or anything like that, but nor am I giving medical advice for that point. So, all right, the Ingalls Market Talk Line, 800-347-1063. The Common Sense Retirement Planning text line, 71307. Charlie, the overdoses from opioids will not go away by denying all of us their use. It just will switch the addictive people to another drug. Again, nobody's talking about getting rid of opioids. Charlie, according to the husband's eye doctor, he would be blind if he wasn't smoking a little bit of pot every day for his glaucoma. His doctor has also written to the medical committee, eye drops don't work for him. Charlie, it's illegal to try to get caught with, it's illegal. Try getting caught with your face on mugshots. Your reputation is tainted. There you go. All right. So, Charlie, if you want to know a list of doctors that won't prescribe opioids to my husband, I'm happy to help you. You may get a week of painkillers. This is not knee surgery, but this chronic 24/7 horrible, severe, debilitating pain. You're really peeing me off, Charlie. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Charlie, Matt from Traveler's Rest is, again, nobody's talking about getting rid of opioids. Why? Don't let your passion go faster than your brain. Nobody's recommending doing away from opioids, but not everybody can take opioids. Drug addicts should not take opioids. According to experts, they shouldn't do this. People with certain conditions should not take opioids. But for those people, there needs to be an alternative to opioids. That's what the conversation is about. Nobody's saying getting rid of opioids would be a good thing. There are people out there that need them. They do. I fully understand that. Again, you're getting, some people are getting mad at me for no reason. They're getting mad at Candace for no reason. Again, nobody's talking about doing away with opioids, but opening up to an alternative might be a good thing for a lot of people, especially, like I said, when we're seeing 75,000 deaths a year from opioid overdoses. Let's see. So there you go. Charlie, the abuse of opioids by some people make it difficult for those who truly need them. I'm a hospice RN, and I've seen it many times. I agree. But that is the danger of opioids for some people. Again, not everybody. We'll be right back. We'll talk about Carrie Lake and her response to a reporter about election deniers. That's coming up next, right here on The Charlie James Show, 106.3 WORD.
line, 800-347-1063.
This is the Charlie James Show on 106.3 WORD.
Okay, coming up in just a few minutes. In just a few minutes, I am naming names. I will tell you the names of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of the senators that voted against this abortion bill in the Senate yesterday. Naming names. And you would be surprised at how many of these senators on their websites say that they are pro-life. You would be shocked to find that out. Pro-life. One senator's website says that they believe that life begins at conception. Oh, conception. Is that right? We'll expose these folks, if you will, coming up in just a few minutes. Right now, I've been promising you to tell you about this. Kari Lake was having and I love this because she's speaking at an event called Black Voices for Kari. And she's there in Arizona. Of course, she's running for the governor. I think this is not the end of the road. The governor's mansion in Arizona is not the end of the road for Kari Lake. I mean, I foresee this woman as being at least a senator at some point, maybe even president, and I would vote for her in a heartbeat. But she was asked about, election deniers at this event, and it's, listen to this. This is pretty cool because somebody in the crowd said, oh, I've got a list here for you, Miss Lake, and here's how that went.
I did a little, actually, Anthony, how old are you?
20.
Are you a journalist?
No.
Well, you did better research than half these people. Let's talk about election deniers. Here's 150 examples of Democrats denying election results. Oh, wow, look at this. This is from Joe Biden's press secretary. Reminder, Brian Kemp stole the gubernatorial election from Georgians and Stacey Abrams. Democrats saying that. Is that an election denier? Oh, look at this. Just heard Republican Ryan Costello said it would be difficult for Stacey Abrams to win because she lost her state bid, but yet she's still claiming she never lost. This is outright. Hillary Clinton. Trump is an illegitimate president. Is she an election denier? This one says, was the 2016 election legitimate? It now definitely is a question worth asking. That's the Los Angeles Times. So it's okay for Democrats to question elections, but it's not okay for Republicans. It's a crock of BS. Every one of you knows it. We have our freedom of speech, and we're not going to relinquish it to a bunch of fake news propagandists. If you want a copy of these, I'm sure that Anthony would help you get a copy and help you learn how to be journalists, but look it up. It's been happening for a long time. Since 2000, people have questioned the legitimacy of our elections. And all we're asking is that in the future, we don't have that have to happen anymore. When I'm governor, we're going to make sure we have honest elections. We want the Democrats, the Independents, and the Republicans to all know that their vote counted.
That's awesome. Good for her. Good for her. She had the receipts and she showed it to the Democrats. It wasn't just the Democrats. Democrats, journalists, same thing. 6 of 1, tomato, whatever. Showed it right there to them. Basically shut them all up completely. So there you go. Hey, Charlie, you're missing the point. Your talk has terrified doctors that no patients need them. I've never bought illegal drugs, but I have considered getting meds from other sources. If I get something that kills me because unbearable pain, I blame the people that overstep and know more than doctors. Tim, you've been with me for a little while here, haven't you? I mean, it's been quite a while. Do we ever really talk about opioids all that much on this program? Nope, we really don't talk about opioids all that much. In fact, we rarely talk about opioids. We do talk about fentanyl a good deal because of all that's coming over the border, but for some reason, I have all of this incredible power that I didn't know I wielded, and my talk has caused doctors to stop. You're looking for a scapegoat here, and it's not going to be me. I'm not going to be the one to do that. Period. I said and I'll say it again. Somebody sent me a great text, and I love this. I wasn't going to say it on the air, but I'm going to now. Let me see. Got to find this here. I love this. Charlie, why do people think you're talking directly to them and their situation? Thank you. Thank you. Because I'm not. I'm not talking about you and your situation. I'm talking in generalities. When I say 76,000 people have overdosed from opioids, do you think that's a problem? Yes or no? 76,000 people died from a single source. Charlie, these are irresponsible people, blah, 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 blah. No, I'm not saying that we should do away with opioids. I'm not saying that doctors should stop prescribing opioids. But what I am saying is maybe, since we are seeing a rash of people who are overdosing on opioids, maybe there ought to be an alternative. And if that alternative is medical marijuana, I say go for it. Full steam ahead. Do it. Do the research. Get that done. And if that's one of the alternatives, I'm fine with that. I don't care. It doesn't matter. Do I want people to be in pain? Hell no. Pain is one thing in life I avoid at all costs. And I don't blame anybody for avoiding it. None. It's horrible. It's miserable. My talk isn't doing anything because I don't talk about it. So, Charlie, do you agree with the steps the federal government is taking to have breathalyzers or other drug analysis devices required in all motor vehicles? I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think so. No, not really. Charlie, perhaps because they have a guilty conscience for having gotten addicted. Charlie, the other texter was absolutely correct. This is a heavy-handed approach. What approach? Your passion is getting ahead of your brain here. Your passion is getting ahead of your ears. Nobody is saying do away with opioids. Nobody is. Seriously. And if that's what you're hearing, maybe you want to, do a little self-check here. I'm not advocating doing away with opioids. No, never have. Never have. Just haven't done it. And if you think I have done it, then you are gravely mistaken. Sorry about that. So we'll be right back. When we get back, naming names on this abortion bill. These are the senators that voted against it. We'll have that next right here on 106.3 WORD. This is the Charlie James Show.
7 on the Common Sense Retirement Planning text line.
Welcome to the Charlie James Show, 106.3 WORD.
Welcome back to the program. So yesterday there was a chance that we could have this abortion bill passed in the Senate, and it failed. It failed. So they're going to have to go back and try it again. It's not completely dead, but they're going to have to go back and try again. So some of our senators, Republican senators, voted with the Democrats against this bill. Okay? Now, I have the list. I believe this is a partial list, but it's the majority, at least, of the people that voted against this bill yesterday. I will now name names. Sandy Sin, no big surprise. Tom Young, Greg Hembry, Shane Massey, Penny Gustafson, Katrina Shealy, Ronnie Cromer, Tom Davis, Chip Campson, and Sean Bennett. Those are the senators that voted against this abortion bill. And then I went and I said, hey, I got an idea. Let me just take a look at some of their websites and see where they stand on whether or not they're pro-choice or pro-life. Let's see what they campaigned on. And boy, was I surprised. I mean, here you got Shane Massey. Over on his website, it says, Shane Massey believes that life begins at conception. Oh, okay. So why'd you vote against the bill? Interesting. I found that. Sandy Sin doesn't have much of a website other than wanting you to donate. Penny Gustafson also says we should protect the most vulnerable among us, including unborn children. Katrina Shealy, the same thing. So these people, these Republicans that worked or campaigned on being pro-life and asked for you to send them money to reelect them when they had the opportunity to do something and prove that they were pro-life, they ran the other way. They ran to the left side of the aisle with the Democrats. Because why? Because when they were campaigning, Roe v. Wade was still the law of the land, so to speak. It was always something to hide behind. You would never be tested. Nobody would ever call your actions into play here. You could say you were pro-life. You could say you were against abortion when you always had the protection of Roe versus Wade. So that way you could say, I'm pro-life. I believe life begins at conception, but that pesky Roe v. Wade is standing there. So what are we going to do about it? Oh, well, I guess we'll keep fighting, winking all the way, fingers crossed behind their backs. So now that the protection, so to speak, of Roe v. Wade has been eliminated, and you've actually got a chance to do something, where do you run? Like I said, you run to the other side of the aisle. That's a darn shame, isn't it? Absolute darn shame that they did that. So it really is amazing to me that here we are, supposedly in one of the ruby reddest states in all the land, and we can't get good conservatives in our state legislature. Every single one of these people needs to be primaried. Every single one of them. Sandy Sin, Tom Young, Greg Hembry, Shane Massey, Penny Gustafson, Katrina Shealy, Ronnie Cromer, Tom Davis, Chip Campson, Sean Bennett. Every one of those people need to have a primary opponent, and this needs to be an issue that you bring up. Right? There you go. Anyway, Charlie, the issue is stupid, and this is where the religious fanatics and overly conservative Republicans need to, well, I'm not going to say that. Good people don't want abortions unless it's absolutely necessary. And we should let the lowlives, for Pete's sake, who cares? This has gotten ridiculous. I thought we were overpopulated anyway. Well, it's an interesting little text there. That's pretty cool. There you go. Yeah, too many. Well, you sound like Stacey Abrams over in Georgia. when she said the reason that people are worried about the price of gas and the reason that people are worried about the price of food is because of those kids. Doggone those kids. They're messing up everything. Yeah, I want to play for you this clip of Stacey Abrams. Hopefully I can find it pretty quickly. Here you go. But no, that's not it. I got another Stacey Abrams clip that I want to play you. But she said, yeah, that's what she said. Having children is why people are worried about the economy. Here we go. Here's Stacey Abrams. This is going to boggle your mind here.
I would assume, maybe incorrectly, but while abortion is an issue, it nowhere reaches the level of interest of voters in terms of the cost of gas, food, bread, milk, things like that. What could you do as governor to alleviate the concerns of Georgia voters about those livability, daily, hourly issues that they're confronted with?
But let's be clear. Having children is why you're worried about your price for gas.
Oh.
It's why you're concerned about how much food costs.
Yeah.
For women, this is not a reductive issue. You can't divorce being forced to carry an unwanted pregnancy from the economic realities of having a child.
Wow.
And so it's important for us to have both and conversations. We don't have the luxury of reducing it or separating them out, but we also have to talk about what a governor can do.
So I would have had a great life if it hadn't been for you meddling kids. I wouldn't have to worry about gas prices if it weren't for you meddling kids.
You gotta call
Everything would be absolutely fine if it weren't for those kids, according to Stacey Abrams. Let's go to Pete in Greenville and talk to him. Pete, how you doing?
Hey, Charlie, is it me?
Yeah, it is you. Welcome.
Thanks for taking my call,
Yes,
sir. I appreciate it. I'm a patriot. I will say I self-identify as a patriot. I don't mind. It's kind of a nasty word some people think nowadays.
Now,
patriot.
Now patriot means right-wing extremist. Yeah. So what's up? I just got a few seconds left here. What's up, Pete?
Well, why'd you take my call if you just got a few seconds left? I just want to say Republicans should not vote. Republicans should not vote. All the voting machines are broken. All of the things are co-opted by Democrats, and we should not vote. If we vote, we are falling into their trap.
Okay, you're right, Pete, about something, pal. I shouldn't have taken your call. Thanks for trying there. We'll be right back. This is the Charlie James Show, 106.3 WORD. And welcome back to the stream. Thank you very much. So, yeah, we are on streaming live on YouTube. We're streaming on Twitter, on Facebook, and Rumble now. Let me know. You guys keep me apprised. I mean, you digging the stream, you enjoying it, and all of that. I certainly am. It's good to talk to you folks. So let me know how you doing out there. So Pete called in just a few minutes ago, and I told you this yesterday, and I want to reiterate. What would make Joe Biden, Stacey Abrams, Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, Kamala Harris, what would make them ecstatic coming up on January the 8th, 20 days from now? What would make them so just giddy with joy? That would be for you to stay home and not vote. They would love for you to do that. Now, I always go by the motto, it's a great day to ruin a Democrat's day, and I stand by that. And coming up on November the 8th, I'm going to do the best that I can to ruin a Democrat's day. I'm going to get up good and early in the morning, and I'm going to go vote. That's what I'm going to do. And I want you to do the same thing. Oh, but Charlie, they're going to cheat. Yeah, they're going to try to cheat. But if we turn out, and we said all this yesterday, if we turn out in the numbers that we should be turning out in, and with the amount of people that the Republican Party is now able to reach, and hearing all of the stories that are coming out of certain Hispanic areas where the Hispanic community has said, look, we're done with the Democrat Party. They're coming over to the conservative side. Fingers crossed, we're going to have a huge red wave coming up in November, 20 days from now. If you don't vote, then things will be drastically different. But we need to send a message. We need to turn out in numbers that will send a message to Joe Biden and Kamala Harris and all the greenie weenies out there that we show up. We show up for the game. We don't just show up for practice. We don't just sit in the back of the room and cry foul. We get boots on the ground. And they need to know exactly who they're dealing with. So I highly recommend, I urge you, get out there and vote. I mean, you can't call yourself a patriot, a true patriot, and vote. I'm a patriot. Hey, I like you. You're a patriot. Yeah, I heard you say you were a patriot. I got an idea. We're going to leave England. We're going to declare our independence from Great Britain, and we're going to start our own country. Well, not so much of a patriot anymore. Yeah, things might get ugly. You got to do it. We got to do it. You can do it. You are positive people. You are positive, optimistic people. And that's one of the things I love about the Democrat Party or the Republican Party and conservatives. Positive people. We know, see, that's the thing. We know how all of this ends. We've read the book. We've read the book. We know how it ends. We know that good will prevail over evil. But it's up to us to put actions behind our faith. We need to do that. Right? Charlie, they know we're going to show up to vote. That's why from now until November is going to be the most dangerous time ever. Oh, of course. Yes, you're right. You're absolutely. This is the 2-minute warning. They're going to be throwing everything they can at us. Every single day, every minute of the day. They're going to throw don't be surprised. It's still October. It's only the 19th. Still got plenty of time for that big October surprise. Even though all of this other stuff is being completely overlooked by a lot of people out there, especially folks, like in the FBI, things like that. So get out there and vote. Don't be a Pete. That might be a new motto. Don't be a Pete. Get out there. So what good? I have a question. Somebody just let me know. What good would would staying home do? What good? Early nationwide voting is looking very good for the Republican Party right now. Very good. Not good news for Democrats. Not at all. Republicans in California have increased their early voting by 13%. Republicans in Florida have increased their early voting by 19%. Maine, 7%. Maryland, 13%. Pennsylvania, 12%. Certain parts of New England, 19%. Early voting turnout numbers are showing a huge gain for Republicans. Idaho, 47%. No, I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. Idaho, in 2020, 47% of Republicans early voted. This year, 52%. California, 2020, 22%. This year, 27%. Florida up from 29% to 39%. Maine up from 18% to 21%. New England, 47% to 58%. These are significant numbers that are coming out. So optimism has got to be the word of the day. Get out there and absolutely vote. Charlie, if you do not participate in the privilege of voting, then you become a part of the problem. I agree with you 100%. But again, let me just try to get an answer to the question. If you stay home, like Pete wants you to do, what's going to change? What's going to change? Would you rather just sit back, like I guess Pete wants to do, and just sit back and cry foul and yell from the back of the room? Or you want to actually get out there and do something that's good for this country? I vote for doing something that's good for this country, and I know you do too. I've got every confidence, every faith in you. I've met you. I've shook your hand, and I know you are good people, and I know you're going to get out there and you're going to vote in record numbers coming up. We'll be right back. This is the Charlie James Show, 106.3 WORD. Don't be a Pete.
on 106.3 WORD.
Want to thank all the viewers on the stream over at YouTube. This is a brand new thing we got going on right now. We are at 106.3 WORD on Facebook. We are on the Charlie James Show on Facebook. We are on 106.3 WORD on Twitter. We are at Charlie on Air on Rumble. And we are at, where else are we at? We're, can't remember the other one.
Twitter?
I did say Twitter.
Yeah, Twitter, Facebook, your Facebook.
Yeah.
And
Rumble and YouTube.
And Rumble.
And YouTube at 106.3 WORD on YouTube. So check us out there. Get in on the stream. Let me know what you think. I appreciate you tuning in. We do have some folks on the phone that want to talk to us. Let's go to Dan in Fountain Inn. He's got a response to Pete. Dan, welcome to the program. How are you?
Hey, enjoying the show.
Thank you, sir.
Even with Pete's call. One, it sounds like Pete might also drive by himself in the car with a mask on. So once again, don't be a Pete.
That's right.
But he couldn't be further from the truth. Vote, vote, vote. They need to feel that red wave. But I would say, I think that Rush even said this from time to time, that early voting was a Democrat tool.
Yeah.
And I would also say that, if they know how many votes they have to steal, because they can get the calculations before the day of, when we used to have deadlines for voting. But, show up on the day of the vote.
Yeah.
Stand in line. You know, hopefully there's a really, really long line. And we show up. But I feel positive about it. But hey, guys, something has to change. So
yeah,
everyone,
you're right. And nothing's going to change if you don't vote. I appreciate it. And you are absolutely right. Vote, vote, vote. And I'm not a big fan of early voting either. I'm really not. I'm certainly not a fan of mail-in voting. I certainly understand if you have to do like a absentee ballot or something like that. That's completely fine. I understand that. Things just happen in life. But I am all about, I like getting up and being part of the process. You know what I mean? You get up and you go to the polling place, and there are other people there, and you're kind of chatting with them a little bit. You go in, you see the folks that are working there. You kind of chat with them, see how their day is going, ask them how the turnout has been. They're always very pleasant. You get your ballot. You walk over to the machine, and you sign the thing. You get your ballot. You walk over to the machine. You make your selections, and then you give it to the other guy that scans it, and they want to give you. I never take the sticker. I don't do the sticker. I just don't. If you do, fine. Get you a sticker. You can have mine. You can have mine. And then you're out and you really feel like you were part of the process. And I just think it's great. I really do. I look forward to going and voting. When I was 17 years old, I couldn't wait till I turned 18 to be able to vote. I really did. My grandfather worked very closely with the Nixon campaign. He worked with several other campaigns over in the Augusta area. He was very active in politics, and it was it was everyday conversation in our house. I'll take that back. That was the majority of the conversation in our house was about politics. I was the one that got my grandfather listening to Rush Limbaugh, and where we were living. It was Rush Limbaugh had his show, and then when he went off at 3, when he went off at 3, Alan Colmes came on. And I just remember my grandfather just sitting there cussing Alan Colmes. I mean, he would just, it was just going after Alan Colmes. But he loved Rush Limbaugh, and one of the things he really loved the fact that I was doing this on the radio. That was a very important thing to me. So this has just been part of life from the get-go. Being involved. Do you win every campaign? No, you don't. But that doesn't keep you from trying. And it should never, ever, ever keep you from voting. The Ingalls Market Talk Line, 800-347-1063. The Common Sense Retirement Planning text line, 71307. Hey, Charlie, in-person voting, that's it. That's it. That's what I believe. I think it should be. In-person voting and absentee ballots. I'm completely okay with those. The other things, not so much. Not so much. Charlie, why aren't you on Truth Social? That's a good question. Tim, have you researched, because Tim has really been the point on this whole streaming thing. Have you looked into the streaming on Truth Social?
Yeah, so streaming on Truth Social is not currently
Available. Okay.
In the same with, there is a way to do it on Instagram, but you have to go around Robin's Barn to do it.
I don't even know what that means.
You just got to.
You got to go around your
workaround.
You got to go around your rear end to get to your elbow.
That's right. That's what that means. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe that's a northern thing. I don't know.
It's probably.
But anyways, yeah. So Truth Social and Instagram, not right now, but I did do a little bit of research on Truth Social, and I believe that they are heading in that direction.
So they're working on that.
Yes.
Okay.
I believe so. Now I could be wrong on that. The source that I was reading it from seemed to be credible. So
okay.
But I'm not too sure whether it is actually credible or not. So
I'm really not even all that interested on being on Instagram.
You
know what I mean?
I don't think that Instagram is the right platform
Yeah.
for what we talk about.
Yeah.
Because Instagram is just more of the younger generation.
Well, I'm just kind of surprised that we've been on YouTube this long for what 2 hours and 25 minutes that we've been streaming today.
Mm-hmm.
That we're still on YouTube.
Oh yeah, I'm surprised
and Facebook and Twitter and all of that.
Well, I'm surprised at the reactions that we've gotten from it. I mean,
Yeah.
you guys have been amazing. Whoever's watching on stream, the reactions we've gotten from it are wonderful, and we want to encourage you guys to keep interacting
Absolutely.
with us and share and like the content, and because that helps us out.
Oh yeah, we absolutely love doing it. But of course, listening to WORD every day, please do that. If you can't get us with us in your car on your radio, of course, you can always use the WORD app over on Odyssey. And of course, if for some reason that's not working, you can always go to 106.3 WORD on your laptop or on your tablet or something like that, and you can listen live there as well. Right? You can always do that. There's always things to do. Charlie, I'm 60 and I love Instagram. Yeah, but I'm just not sure Instagram's the place we want to be to live stream the show.
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong. I wasn't saying that.
I love Instagram as well.
Yeah, I'm always on Instagram, but it just gears more towards the younger generation.
Yeah.
The algorithm works more towards the younger generation.
But here's if you go to my Instagram page, Charlie on Air, you're going to see, here's what you're going to see. You're going to see golf, and you're going to see
dogs,
Scotch Collies. That's pretty much it. And
I think that's all you have on there.
That's it. That's all I got on there. That's all I want on there. That's all I'm putting. That's all I'm putting on it. That's my life. If we go somewhere fun, like we went up to Jeter's farm the other day. Of course, the dogs were there. We put that on there. But that's all I do over there.
Mine's just full of gamer stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I have all kinds of gaming stuff on mine.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of dogs, a dog has been named. I want to get this right before we hit this break here. A dog has been named Animal of the Year. We'll tell you about George when we get back, and I got a little surprise for you about how your animals, your dogs in particular, actually feel about you. Give you a little spoiler alert. They are judging you. We'll be right back. This is the Charlie James Show, 106.3 WORD.
07.
Powered by Common Sense Retirement Planning.
Be a part of the Charlie James Show.
Come on, let's talk. 1063 WORD.
So there is a dog that just won Animal of the Year. I mean, I guess that would be a pretty high honor, right? I mean, you did not just Dog of the Year, but Animal of the Year. And that's, hey, I don't know how you could get better than that. But a Cocker Spaniel named George just won Animal of the Year in England for his unique talents as a therapy dog. So, Tim, let me ask you something. What do you think George's unique talents are as a therapy dog? If you could just imagine what George would do as a therapy dog, what would you say that was?
Unique talents?
A unique talent, according to the people who awarded him Animal of the Year. What is George's unique talents?
Fetching useful or convenient objects.
No, you'd be absolutely wrong. You could not.
Though, right?
You couldn't be further wrong than what George's unique talents are.
Oh, well, what are they?
George's unique talents are he listens.
Oh.
No, that's it. George is really good at just sitting and listening to people very intently. So his owner uses him to help kids to learn to read out loud. They say he listens, but he doesn't judge. Oh, you might be wrong about that. You might be wrong about that. Dogs, animals, do judge. They do judge you. Recently, there was I want to read you this text message I had on the Common Sense Retirement Planning text line 71307. Charlie, my golden retriever not only judges me every day, but he sizes me up for everything he wants or wants to get away with. Oh yeah, they're watching. They're always watching you every single time. So we don't want little Sophie Rose to chew on sticks. Man, she loves chewing on sticks. She really does. So we, when she goes out in the backyard, we got these things that are called beef cheeks. And we give her the beef cheeks and we take away the stick. So what she'll do is she'll take the beef cheek and put it next to a stick and then chew the stick, but it looks like she's chewing on the beef cheek. Sneaky little booger. Sneaky little booger. But here's the thing. There was a study at Kyoto University in Japan. They found that dogs, female dogs in particular, are able to judge how capable their humans are. The experiment consisted of two humans opening containers with food inside. One of them struggled to open the container, and one of them opened it with ease. It was found that while male dogs had no preference, they didn't care, female dogs observed the two humans for a long time before finally approaching the competent person. They say that our findings show that dogs, especially female dogs, are able to identify human competence, which can influence their behavior, particularly if food is involved. Judgment is classified on social evaluation in psychology, and the study aimed to see if dogs have the ability to evaluate humans on their skillfulness. They say if it could be advantageous for social animals to evaluate others based on not only social traits like cooperativeness, but also on non-social traits like skillfulness or competence. For example, in observing a learning context, the present findings suggest that at least female dogs can evaluate people based on their competence in motor task and ability, likely to be advantageous not only in social learning, but also when choosing partners in situations requiring cooperation. So if you're looking like a bumbling, around here we call me the spare human when it comes to Sophie, because Sophie has not yet fully accepted me. She's doing well. She's doing well. But Sheila, because Sheila is the one that feeds her. And she always goes to Sheila. But Artie could care less. But isn't this the same way like in the dating world? Now, Tim, I don't know about you, but I am so happy that I am not in the dating arena.
Oh, me too.
Holy mackerel.
Me too.
Get me out of that. Awful, awful, awful place to be. in the dating
too
world.
easily offended now.
Everybody so easily offended and so judgmental.
Yeah, how dare you
So
pay for my meal?
judgmental. Yeah, man. It was
what?
yeah, it's unbelievable.
Because I want to. That's why.
It would be so hard to find a mate right now.
Yeah.
Just super duper hard.
I asked some friends that are still dating that aren't married, and they all say the same thing. They don't like dating anymore.
No.
It's too hard.
Yeah, way too hard. Good gracious. But competence is a big thing. Like if you're looking at attracting a mate, then it's probably just along the same lines as this study from Kyoto. Competence in something is probably a very attractive trait to a lot of females. I mean, guys, do we care? Do we care if a woman's good at golf or excels at one sport or excels in the business world or excels in this or that or the other? Do we really care? I mean, no. Here's what we care about. We care about looks because men are visual, care about attractiveness, and then, of course, we care about how you treat us. Those are the two big things. And women look for things like competence, strength, the ability to protect, and things like that. So what do you think it would be easier? Would it be easier, Tim, for a male to date right now in this environment or a female?
A female.
I think it's always been a female.
Yeah, a female, 100%.
I think since cavemen put down the clubs, and
right. Because
it has been easier for the females, at least in modern history, certainly.
Oh yeah, I agree. Just because nowadays, if I've seen it. I've seen it on on YouTube Shorts, on Facebook, everything.
Yeah.
Like they'll just cry out, "Oh, you're a chauvinist, or you're a bad white person," or whatever. And then, there's this huge mob around this person, and it's like they're carrying pitchforks and flames.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, it's hard for guys. No.
Hey, Charlie, I think friends with benefits is the way to go nowadays.
Yeah.
Oh, boy, you got to be careful there, too. Absolutely. We'll be right back. This is the Charlie James Show, 106.3 WORD.
locked into the Charlie James Show on 106.3 WORD.
The Upstate's #1 talk station.
So, yeah, you should vote. You should get out there and vote. Because if not, things aren't going to get any better. And here, I want to play this for you because the insanity of the left is reaching a fever pitch. Listen to this and listen to what they're doing in cities like San Francisco.
Spoke with today say it's now
Wait a minute, hold on. I got something else is open here, and I see what it is. Let me mute this. Here we go. There we go.
With today say it's now a matter of public safety. They believe drug use on the streets has increased since the sobering center reopened. So I took those concerns to the city and to the group running Soma Rise.
I think we're approaching a period of insanity.
To say this group is fed up over the June opening of the city's first pilot program drug sobering center, Soma Rise, could be an understatement.
They're smoking their meth openly.
Residents and business owners say their complaints to Health Right 360, the nonprofit running the center, have fallen on deaf ears.
They're basically letting their clients come over here and get high, go back in and sober up, and then come back in and get high again.
And have resorted to documenting their struggles.
Every morning it's a roulette. When you show up to your office, are there going to be 10 people passed out in front of your building? Are they going to be violent? This was never a problem before Health Right 360 moved in.
Some even arming themselves against the belligerent or violent with baseball bats and tasers.
Stay back, dude, stay back.
Wow. So that's what the people, hey, but you know what? You guys voted for that. That's what you voted for. So don't be complaining too much when you have to dodge the homeless meth addicts out in the streets to get to work. And then we go to New York City. New York City unveiled Mayor Eric Adams' Tent City yesterday. Oh, boy. Tent City. Now, who is this for? Is this for homeless vets? No, it is not. Is it for homeless Americans? No, it is not. It is for migrants. You and I know them as illegal aliens. Illegal aliens staying in Mayor Eric Adams' Tent City are going to get 3 meals a day. Are you ready for this? I don't know if you're quite ready for this. 3 meals a day. They're going to get fluff and fold laundry service and an array of entertainment, including television and video games. They say this is a place where people can come, rest, relax, kick their feet up after the journey they've been on. Oh, my goodness. An initial wave of 500 single men. These aren't families. These are single men slated to start moving in today after arriving from Texas at the Port Authority bus terminal in Midtown Manhattan. But it's a short-term solution is what they're calling it for people to figure out what their next destination is going to be. Officials acknowledged that no one would get kicked out for staying beyond the goal of just 4 days, saying, our focus is to get you where you want to go and not put a numerical limit in terms of number of hours to restrict anything. Fluff and fold laundry service. Wonder who's getting that contract. Wonder who, seriously. We need to look into who is getting the fluff and fold contract at Mayor Eric Adams' Tent City. Really unbelievable. That is mind-boggling. Now, Adams said previously that no deadline would be imposed in part because the city's struggling with a shortage of shelter space due to the ongoing flood of immigrants, which reached 20,500 arrivals on Sunday. They're trying to blame folks like Governor Abbott in Texas and, of course, Governor DeSantis down in Florida, but it's not. It's mainly the Biden administration that are flying them in. Some aspects of the setup are designed to encourage long-term occupancy, including the menu that is cooked on site in a fully equipped commercial kitchen. Now, these aren't just any old meals that they're getting. No. These meals are all culturally appropriate. It's South American fare, they say. This sounds like a restaurant ad. The folks have already been provided food, which is great. Crews, including myself, have been eating it the past couple of days. In addition, snacks are going to be provided, coffee, tea, water, available around the clock. They've got sofas in there. They've got big screen plasma TVs. They've got, oh, look at that, sound systems. They've got karaoke machines. They've got Xboxes. 60 dining tables are set up in a tent that houses a recreation room, 2 popcorn machines. Like I said, televisions, Xbox game consoles, ping pong, foosball tables, board games, 12 phones that can be used to make international calls. The entire site is equipped with Wi-Fi. Heating and cooling units are going to keep all the tents right around 70 degrees. Can you believe that? That's what's going on in New York. This isn't for homeless vets. This isn't for homeless Americans. This is for illegal immigrants in this country. Hell, who wouldn't want to go there? Sound like a pretty. I'll bet you've been to camp that wasn't that good. I never went to camp, but I always imagined they were good. Good grief. Charlie, and yet the food pantry at Miracle Hill is low, right? Charlie, that sounds better than the USO tent when I was in Afghanistan. Of course, because they're more important. They're more important. Charlie, they are single military-age males. That's the secret. The mainstream media won't tell anyone. Can you say Trojan horse? Of course. Single military-aged males are coming here from other countries. If they were all wearing a uniform, it would be considered an invasion. If they were all standing at our border wearing the same uniform, it would be an invasion. But no, since they come here. How many of you people think that if you walked from just the southern tip of Mexico to the United States, how many of you think you would be clean when you got here? They all look clean to me. Some of them actually look a bit overweight. Y'all, Mark Levin is coming up next. He's got a great show planned for you as usual. Thank you for tuning in this afternoon, whether on the radio, streaming, or on the app. We certainly appreciate it. We will see you right back here tomorrow as usual. Y'all have a great night. God bless. Buckle up. Bye, y'all.